Welcome to Session 3, Self-Directed Content. In this session, we're going to give you an overview of how self-directed content gives you all the data and tools needed to manage your item master, vendor master, and vendor alignment needs. Many of the features contained in self-directed content are shared by Content on Demand and were covered in Sessions 1 and 2. Therefore, in recognition of your limited time, we will only provide a basic overview of these shared features. In previous sessions, we've described the general homepage layout, its use, and how to navigate through the application to find the products you need to satisfy all your content management requirements. This homepage can be modified to meet the needs of individual users and the tasks that they perform. You will notice that it's laid out so you can have quick access to all the features that you most frequently need to manage your content, including load data, the virtual item master, insight reporting, abbreviation dictionaries, approval workflow, and attribute refinement. On the left and below the quick search box are additional menu options including general management, data-related management including inclusion management and description management, and your most recent searches listed under recent bookmarks. The process begins by uploading your data into the MEPERIA application, so we'll go ahead and select Load Data by clicking the Load Data panel from the home page. This brings up a screen that allows you to upload the following data: vendor master, item master, and purchase history. Provision has also been made for the uploading of contract information and consignment inventory. However, as these features are not currently available, they will not be covered in this session. Clicking the Browse button and using your mouse to navigate to the file location within your computer will upload your data into the application. Please note that MEPERIA is designed to process only text-eliminated files. The system has been designed to manage multiple file instances, such as when needed to support a hospital network or any situation where there are multiple master file instances. Once uploading is complete, your files will be shown at the bottom of the screen, where you can also see the status of the file within the system. As upload files generally contain significant amount of data that require to be processed, we recommend that you would now exit the system, and we will advise you when the upload process is complete by sending you an email. We now have two choices. You can find out how your data compares with other members of the community by selecting Insight from the main menu bar, or proceed directly to Inclusion Management, which allows you to manage the inclusion process. Let's go ahead and select Insight. Here you will find the summary statistics that relate to your input files and individual ratings based on 4 major categories. Data relevance, which evaluates performance based on how the item master relates to your spending patterns by comparing the spend contained in your purchase history to the item master. Data consistency, which evaluates performance as it pertains to how your data is structured, including individual word variation and record duplication. Data completeness, which evaluates performance by checking the data's completeness in terms of critical attributes such as vendor name or manufacturer name. And finally, spend categorization, which attempts to break down your spend by UNSPSC code. To perform this analysis, MEPERIA has attempted to allocate UNSPSC codes to all supplies contained in the purchase history, based on their descriptive values. Where descriptive content is insufficient to ensure the correct detail level of categorization, a more general code has been assigned. You will note that these allocations can and often will change during the course of data processing. We will now select Inclusion Management from the main menu bar to continue our data load process. Inclusion Management gives you the ability to define what should be included in building your new item master by interrogating your purchase history and applying the item inclusion rules that you've selected in the dialog box shown. For example, you can leave the default settings, which will include records that have been purchased at least twice in the last 18 months. Or you can define the number of purchase events and time frame yourself. Then by selecting Apply, you'll be shown the number of items that will be included during the description generation process. However, before we generate the descriptions, we must first decide how abbreviations will be applied. This is achieved by selecting Abbreviation Dictionary from the main menu bar. As the main features of abbreviations was covered in Session 2, I will limit coverage here to how you modify the MEPERIA abbreviation to create your own customized abbreviation, which you can then apply to all descriptions. First, I will open a dialog box by selecting the word I wish to abbreviate, in this case, device. Now I will enter the new term that I wish to be applied. That's all there is to it. You can use either the search box or page number to find the words you wish to change. Now that we've adjusted the abbreviation dictionary to meet our needs, let's proceed to generate our descriptions. Again, the main functionality was covered in session 2, so we'll just cover the highlights here. We begin the generation process by selecting Description Management from the main menu. We are brought to a screen that controls how the descriptions will look after generation. We begin by giving a new scheme name, in this case, My Description. Next, we use the drop-down box to select what type of description format to use, the MEPERIA Standard or your original form, which will be corrected for consistency and enriched with additional attributes where available. Now we choose which abbreviation dictionary to apply, and then finally the max field length, and select Generate. Once complete, you will see an overview of the matching and enhancement results by selecting Processing Statistics. Here you will see the processing results broken down by vendor. You will also have the option to review these results by UNSPSC and noun type. Notice that the processing statistics include item count, the percent to total that each vendor represents, the number and percent of items that were enriched, the number and percent of unidentified items, and finally the number of attributes enriched. Note that the number of unidentified items is dependent on internal matching and data gathering processes and can be increased through additional data gathering. We can see the enrichment detail by simply clicking any of the highlighted vendors. Following the generation process, we now move to Approval Workflow, where we have the opportunity to review and manage our descriptions. Note that the descriptions can be managed collectively or by facility. Now we can choose which type of attribute we wish to review. We will begin with vendor name. This will produce a listing of vendors associated with the items contained in our generation process. You will see a summary listing on the left-hand side and item detail on the right. This gives you the opportunity to review and change, if necessary, specific product associations. By scrolling to the right, we can review both product description and part number association with each product. Remember that you're reviewing the vendor name, so you only have the option of editing the data contained within this column. You can change the vendor name to all associated items by clicking into the summary vendor name contained in the left panel. Once you're happy with the changes, select Approve. Proceed through the rest of the attributes using the same process. Once complete, you're now ready to review your work in the Virtual Item Master, or VIM for short. The VIM is designed to house all items of interest to you and your users, and can be adjusted to show only the specific items that you wish to be viewed by selecting the filter icon from the sub-menu bar. This will bring up a dialog box that guides you through the view process. If items were matched to items contained within the MEPERIA World Catalog and pictures were available, they would also be included in the data shown. We have previously covered VIM functionalities in sessions 1 and 2, so we'll only provide an overview here. On the left-hand side of the screen, you will find navigation options designed to let you sort and find items of interest. This can be carried out for specific facilities or all facilities. Navigation includes vendor, manufacturer, and product. Notice that each of the values contained in the navigation panel includes the number of associated items. If the vendor or manufacturer is not shown, select More at the bottom of the list, and this will bring up a full listing of vendors and manufacturers that are contained within the dataset. If we scroll down the page, we will see prior history of viewed items. Further examination of the product listing reveals summary product and source information together with the last price paid, which was extracted from the purchase order history file. This option can be disabled if not desired. Double-clicking the underlined description brings up a detailed description including all associated attributes. We can also review prior purchase history by selecting View Price History, which will bring up another dialog box designed to allow you to view purchase patterns across a defined date range, unit of measure, and/or facility. If we leave the default setting as All Facilities, this will allow you to compare purchase patterns and potential price variance across all hospitals in your network. These statistics can be viewed in detail or summary chart form. Now let's assume that we wish to change some of the values contained in the data, because we've just brought in more content from MEPERIA World. This is accomplished by selecting Attribute Refinement from the main menu. Again, much of this functionality was covered in session 2, so here we'll cover how to change and apply descriptive values to selected content. We begin by finding the items we wish to review. This can be accomplished in a number of ways. For example, we can use the navigation tools contained on the left panel, or we can simply enter a search term directly into the search box located directly below the main menu bar. I will go ahead and use this feature. Entering the term screw will bring up all records contained in the dataset that had the word screw. Notice that the word used in the search term is highlighted. A quick review of the data reveals that there is inconsistency in the way the data is presented. This is because the data may have originated from different sources, and although individually correct, may not be desirable for uploading back into the item master. So let's go ahead and correct that, and we begin by clicking into one of the descriptions. Notice that the word order has type before noun and the word screw is abbreviated. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to have the screw as the first word, and I will also unabbreviate it. I've also decided to keep type unabbreviated and move the composition stainless steel down in the attribute order. Now I'll go ahead and apply this to all similar noun types. When the processing is complete, we now have normalized descriptions for screw in the approved item description column. And I can go ahead and export them as needed by selecting Export located in the sub-menu contained directly below the main menu bar. However, I can also go and change other data contained in the dataset. So let's go ahead and select the Approved Manufacturer column and clicking the down arrow, open the subset filter. This will bring up a dialog box that will allow you to conditionally find and replace selected values. As we are in the Manufacturer column, all values will naturally relate to manufacturer names. We now have two options. The default value, which allows us to conditionally select manufacturer names based on the list of options available within the drop-down box, such as names starting with, or we can choose to select from the specific values contained in the dataset. Selecting the Starts With option and entering SYN into the search box brings up all values that starts with the term SYN. As you can see, Synthes has two different versions loaded. I can easily resolve this by entering the desired name in the Replace With box. This will update all Synthes records with the new value. Once we're happy with the way the content looks, we can go ahead and export it by selecting the export icon, which is located next to the filter icon immediately below the main menu bar. This will produce a dialog box from which you can select the specific fields that you wish to export. Then select File Format and click Export. You're done. One thing to remember is that the export feature is designed to export only the current view. So by changing the contents of the view, you can control what records are exported to update your item master. Thank you for spending the time to review self-directed content with me today. Please be sure to contact us if you have further questions or would like to become the latest member of the MEPERIA content community.